Hey my loves, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing some hair growth myths that I actually lived by and believe at the start of my journey, and these myths prevented me from getting any substantial growth throughout the years. So these are things that I actually believed, and because believing in these things and doing them, they prevented me from achieving any hair goals that I set out. So for the longest time I was stuck in a hair plateau. I wasn't getting any results, and when I finally learned the reality, I began to grow my hair and I moved from shoulder length to mid back length, and I'm currently on my way to waist length. So if you're interested to know what these things are that I was doing that prevented me from breaking through in my hair growth journey, because you might be doing some of these things, then stick around for the rest of the video. Now with that being said, let us head right into today's video. Before we get into these hair myths, I just want to put a little disclaimer. Please, I am begging you, don't at me, don't, these were when I was naive and I didn't understand anything about hair care and hair. So you're just getting into it, and YouTube is one of the first places that you go to. So I went on YouTube and I was listening to these people, and there were so many different information coming in from different sources. So of course you're going to gravitate towards some more, especially when you really want those hair goals. So I beg of you, please do not attack me saying, duh, obviously these are fake. These are what I believed at the start of my hair growth journey, and we all start from somewhere, right? So please, I beg, do not attack me and do not come for me. So the first hair growth myth that I believed is that trimming your hair makes it grows faster. And sitting here and literally talking about this, I feel a bit dumb for actually believing these things once upon a time. But we live and we learn. So the first one is trimming your hair makes it grows faster. Now, trimming your hair does not affect your hair growth rate, because obviously the hair grows from the scalp, and trimming the ends of your hair does not affect how fast your hair grows from the scalp. Trimming your hair, however, is essential because it helps you to maintain volume and it helps you to maintain the length of your hair. So trimming your hair, for me back then, why I believed it, because it made sense at the time that when you trim off the damaged ends of your hair would, I don't even want to say it, but your hair would grow faster. At the time it made sense. And if you kind of think about, I'm not trying to justify myself, but if you kind of think about it, if you get rid of the damaged ends that is preventing your hair from growing, then obviously your hair will seems like it's growing more. But in reality, trimming the end of your hair does not affect the growth rate. Your hair grows from your scalp, and that is predetermined by like genetics. So a healthy person, or the average person, tends to get like 0.5 to 1 inch per month, and that is largely dependent on scalp health and your genetics. So trimming the ends of your hair does not affect the length of your hair any at all. And at the time I felt as though it did affect how fast my hair grows. So for the year I was trimming my hair like 3-4 times, even when there was nothing wrong with the end of my hair, and that kept me in a place of stagnancy and not really getting the results that I was looking for. Now this second one, this was my holy grail. This was the one that I abided by day and night. So this one is that your hair can absorb unlimited amounts of moisture. Let's just take a second to process that. Your hair can absorb unlimited amounts of moisture. And trust and believe that cis hair was always, or not always, but about 75% of the time my hair was wet. I went to bed with my hair wet because at the time I was moisturizing my hair, doing a full moisture routine with aloe vera twice per week. And normally when I do it, my hair, because I allow my hair to hair dry, it takes about a day or a day and a half, maybe 2 days sometimes, to fully dry. So by the time midweek would come again, I'd be doing the routine, so my hair would be having a lot of moisture in it. And while I can say for myself that I never really had any negative repercussions when it came on to adding moisture to my hair, but not everyone's hair is the same, and having too much moisture in your hair at a time can actually lead to product buildup, which will stunt your growth or slow your growth down. So now I understand that moisturizing your hair is not about putting unlimited amounts of moisture in your hair. It's about being moderate. So doing a full extensive moisturizing routine once per week is adequate enough. If you feel as though you want to add a little more leave-in conditioner throughout the week, then that is perfectly fine. But doing an extensive routine, for me, where I use water, aloe vera, butter, leave-in conditioner, that is not needed like 2-3 times for the week, but just one time for the week, or one time every week and a half, and that should be good enough for my hair. So over moisturizing your hair is not something that is going to really benefit you along the journey. Rather, it is going to cause product buildup, which may in turn slow down or even stop your hair growth journey, because your hair follicles are clogged and your hair is not being able to grow the way that it wants to grow, because of a lot of product is on your scalp and your hair, and it's just not healthy overall. So don't be like me. Be mindful when you're doing this. Don't think that the more product you use or the more moisture in your hair, the more my hair is going to grow. An adequate amount of moisture is perfectly fine and pretty much what your hair needs to be healthy and to grow. So do not overdo it, but do not underdo it. So finding the right balance for you, it is very essential when it comes on to growing and maintaining healthy hair. So this one is the one that really messed me up throughout the hair growth journey. So this one is that split ends can be treated. At the time, my hair ends, they were pretty damaged, because a little bit before I became more intentional with my hair, I was using a lot of flat iron in it. So trying to get cis straight and everything, and eventually over time you're going to have damaged and fried ends. So for me, the ends of my hair were always dry, always brittle. I mean, honestly, the ends of your hair are going to be a little tad bit drier than the rest of your hair, but it should not be to the point where you're rubbing your hair and it sounds like you're rubbing grass or some paper or something. It should not be sounding like that, and that was how my hair ends sounded a few years ago. So back then, I firmly believed that you could treat the damaged ends, you could treat the split ends, and this prevented me from cutting off it and getting rid of it, because back then I was firmly against trimming your ends, because I was like, trimming your ends, that's just not for me. Other people do it, but it's not for me. I can treat these damaged ends, I can treat these split ends and still make progress, which I was actually kidding myself, because if the ends of your hair is damaged, if the ends of your hair is split, then you need to get rid of them ASAP. Treating it won't help. That is just like you having a virus in your body, and you are playing host and friend with that virus and thinking that it's not going to turn on you, but eventually it will, and it's going to turn out into something nasty. So prevention is really better than cure. So if you realize that the ends of your hair is damaged, then I would highly recommend trimming them off, because you cannot treat split ends. The only solution is to cut them off so your hair can be healthy and even and full. The final one that I have is that hair can grow fuller. Now, while hair is a beautiful thing that God gave us, glory to God, there are a lot of things that you cannot do or achieve by a simple routine, and that is just the reality of it. So you cannot make your hair grow thicker, you cannot really make your hair get darker, you cannot make your hair thinner, you cannot necessarily make your hair grow faster than what your genetics enables you to. And while you do have hair growth oils and butters and all these amazing things that you can use in your hair, the texture, the density, the volume of your hair, how fast your hair grows, how well your hair receives certain products is 98% determined by your genetics. So if you don't have like thick full hair, the chances are that even if you grow your hair in terms of length and you do manage to achieve a little bit of thickness, your hair is not going to be looking like another person whose genetics largely determines the fact that they have voluminous or density, high density hair. So your genetics does play a lot when it comes on to how thick your hair is, how fast your hair is, because the reality of it is that some people, their hair only grows half an inch a month, which is an average person. But some people, their genetics allow them to grow an inch, maybe an inch and a half per month, and then they have an amazing routine which helps them to retain length. So during a 1 year period, they might be able to grow maybe 12 to like 16 inches of hair, while you might not be able to grow more than 6 or 8 inches for the year. And that is just reality. So genetics does play a lot when it comes on to hair growth. And I'm not saying that there's anything called bad genetics, because while you might not be able to get the volume based on your genetics, you can still be able to grow healthy and strong hair. Growing healthy and strong hair has nothing to do with genetics. Genetics just helps with like volume, your porosity, I assume, and you know how fast your hair grows and how well it receives products. But not because you might not be predisposed to growing fast hair based on your genetics does not mean you can't grow fast and healthy hair. And those are pretty much the myths that I have for today. Those are the ones that I believed at the start of my hair growth journey, which, you know, slowed down my progress a little. It delayed it, but it did not deny it, because, you know, sis is almost on her way to waist length. And I'm going to give you guys an end of the year update regarding this journey of reaching waist length, because I am confident that by the end of the year I can actually achieve that goal. So that's pretty much the end of the video. So if you guys found this video useful, or if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you're new, subscribe to my channel. And until next time, bye my loves.